In iOS 18, Apple has brought significant changes and improvements to how the iPhone's control center works. The control center is a vital feature of iOS, providing quick access to a variety of settings and controls, such as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, Do Not Disturb, music playback, and more. With iOS 18, users are given more control and flexibility than ever before when it comes to customizing and adjusting this interface. Customizing your control center allows you to optimize your iPhone for your specific needs, giving you faster access to the features you use most often. Whether you want to add shortcuts for apps, control smart home devices, or tweak settings related to media and device behavior, the control center customization in iOS 18 makes it all possible. This feature is especially useful for people who want to streamline their iPhone experience, ensuring that everything they need is just a swipe away. So, how can you adjust and change the control center to suit your preferences? The process begins with opening the Settings app on your iPhone. Once inside the settings, you'll need to scroll down a bit until you find the Control Center option, usually situated within the list of general settings. The Control Center section is where you'll have the freedom to adjust and tweak various elements related to what appears in the Control Center interface. This part of the Settings app is home to all the controls that appear when you swipe into the Control Center, and it allows you to add, remove, or reorder these controls to meet your needs. In the Control Center settings, you'll encounter two main sections: Included Controls and More Controls. The Included Controls section displays the controls that are currently active and visible in your Control Center. These are the controls that show up when you swipe into the Control Center. If you want to reorder them, you simply tap the three horizontal lines next to each control and drag it up or down. This ability to reorder the controls gives you complete flexibility to arrange them according to your preferences. For example, if you use the flashlight more than the Do Not Disturb feature, you can easily move the flashlight control to the top of the list for faster access. If you want to add new controls to the Control Center, you can do so by tapping the green plus button next to the controls listed under More Controls. This section contains additional features that you might not have in the Control Center by default, such as screen recording, low power mode, alarm, and home, for controlling smart home devices. By adding these controls, you're essentially giving yourself quicker access to these features, ensuring that they're right at your fingertips whenever you need them. Adding new controls is particularly helpful for users who rely on certain settings or shortcuts often, as it eliminates the need to navigate through the Settings app to access them. In contrast, if there are controls in the Included Controls section that you no longer need or use, you can remove them with a simple tap on the red icon next to the control you want to remove. A prompt will appear asking you to confirm the removal, and once confirmed, that control will no longer appear in your Control Center. This helps declutter the Control Center and ensures that only the features you actively use are displayed. The more streamlined your Control Center is, the faster and more efficient it becomes for everyday use. One of the useful additions to iOS 18 is the ability to reorder controls within the Control Center. This gives you the opportunity to place your most used features at the top of the list for easy access. For example, you can have the screen recording feature right next to your Wi-Fi controls or have low power mode placed directly next to your Do Not Disturb mode. This flexibility ensures that you can access the settings you need without having to scroll or search through the Control Center. Aside from the basic customization options, iOS 18 has introduced a more intuitive way to manage Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. When you tap on the Wi-Fi or Bluetooth icons in the Control Center, instead of fully turning these features off, you'll now be prompted with a quick access option that disconnects you from specific networks or devices. This approach eliminates the need for users to navigate to the full Settings app every time they want to disconnect from a Wi-Fi network or Bluetooth device. However, if you do wish to fully turn off Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, you will still need to access the full settings manually. Another notable change in iOS 18 relates to how media playback is handled within the Control Center. The Now Playing widget has been improved, and it's now more interactive. For example, you can access additional options, such as controlling the playback speed of audio or video, adjusting the volume, and skipping tracks, all within the control center itself. This enhancement makes it much easier to control media without having to open the music or podcast app. For users who consume a lot of content on their iPhone, such as podcasts or music, this feature can save a lot of time and effort, as it provides more control over media playback from a single interface. A further enhancement in iOS 18 is the ability to interact with the flashlight and camera controls in more meaningful ways. Both the flashlight and camera controls have become more responsive, allowing you to adjust the flashlight intensity by pressing and holding the flashlight icon in the control center. This gives you better control over how bright the flashlight can get. Similarly, the camera button now offers more options when pressed and held, such as switching between photo, video, or portrait mode instantly. This streamlining of camera features is a welcome addition, especially for users who regularly use their iPhone to capture moments quickly. In addition to the above, iOS 18 introduces an important feature called Access within apps. This setting allows you to access the control center while you are inside any app, which was previously only available on the lock screen or home screen. With Access within apps enabled, you can swipe up or down, depending on your iPhone model, from anywhere within an app to access the control center. This is particularly helpful for users who need quick access to controls while using other apps, such as toggling Wi-Fi or adjusting brightness without leaving the app. If you don't want to be distracted by the control center while using certain apps, you can always disable this feature by toggling it off in the settings. Finally, after you've customized your control center to your liking, it's always a good idea to test it out to ensure that everything is functioning as expected. To do this, simply swipe up or down, depending on your iPhone model, from the top right corner of the screen to open the control center. You should now see the newly added controls, reordered controls, and any customizations you made. Check that everything works as intended and that the controls are positioned in a way that makes the most sense for your daily use. In conclusion, customizing the control center in iOS 18 offers a lot of flexibility and convenience. By adjusting which controls are included, how they're arranged, and what additional features you can access, you can tailor the control center to your specific needs. Whether you're a frequent user of media, smart home devices, or system toggles, having these features right at your fingertips can greatly enhance the user experience.